Hey guys, what's up? It's me. So I'm just watching the end of the Hiding Place, and I needed to make this video because I need to say this. I was gonna make this video a couple months ago, but I went home and forgot about it. Anyways, my sister made me watch this movie called The Boy in the Striped Pajamas, and I just found out there's a book, which I kind of want to read, but I don't know if my emotions are there yet. I can't explain the movie without giving anything away because I just cannot. There's no way to explain it without giving something away. Oh, sorry, I have a cough and I'm trying to drink juice in it like I can't. Anyway, I'm getting better slowly. Anyway, so I found out that there was a book. And I don't know if I want to read it, but I have to say, like, she was freaking out because we were all sitting around, and it was like right before Emma came home, and my sister's like, "Have you seen The Boy in the Striped Pajamas?" And I'm like, "No." And she's like, "What do you mean no?" And just started freaking out, like, "You haven't seen this movie, you have to watch this movie." And she just put it in, and I'm like, "Okay." And I thought, well, I won't really pay attention because, we're going to be eating soon anyway and whatever. But I wound up paying attention, and then Emma came home, and she's like, "Oh, I like this movie." And so we're all watching this movie. And she's kind of explaining what's going on, and she's just, like, geeking out, like, "I can't believe you've never seen this movie, oh my gosh." And so, sorry, my friend tweeted me, and I thought she was talking about The Boy in Striped Pajamas, but I mentioned The Hiding Place earlier, and now I don't know what book she's talking about. Anyway, so, and she was saying something about a movie, and now I'm trying to figure out what she's talking about, because they both have movies. Anyway, so we watched this movie, and it's really weird, because I am the kind of person that things that I should cry at, I don't, and things that I shouldn't cry at, I do. So, like, the really stupidest stuff that nobody's bawling about, I'm, like, in tears. And then everyone's bawling, and I'm just like, whatever, And so it was really weird because I don't remember crying. I just remember, like, the movie ended, and I was in shock. And I just kind of sat there for a minute, and I thought, wow, I didn't have words. And normally, stuff like this, the way that it ended, I would just be bawling. But for some reason, I had, like, no emotion. I was in complete shock. Complete shock. So then, I thought, okay, well, that's odd, And so,
Your future reply from Gracie2880. Jesse Evans at Backlash from the Hiding Place. Also, The Boy in the Striped Pajamas and the Hiding Place are on.
sorry. Anyways, so, the Hiding Place. Okay, now I gotta write to my friend, and I can't think, because I'm thinking about what she said. Anyway, so, I remember, like, being in complete shock, and I didn't cry, which is weird, because normally I would. And I forgot about it. Went home, did whatever I did, went to bed that night, completely forgot about it. Woke up the next morning, could not get it out of my head, and it just wasn't angry. I mean, angry. Like, I can't even describe to you. I was just hatred angry. Like, I was so angry. And I thought, what in the world? Like, this is ridiculous, And so, I was talking to my friend Jonathan that night, and I said, this is ridiculous. Like, my sister made me watch this movie, and I said, for some reason, I didn't cry, and in that morning, I had tears in my eyes the next morning, but I still didn't cry, but I was really angry. And I told Jonathan, I said, I'm so angry right now, like, this is ridiculous, like, this is wrong. Like, the level of anger that I'm feeling right now is just, it's wrong. Like, this is not a godly thing. So, I was just like, oh my gosh. All I could think about for 2 days, and I was so angry, and I just wanted to, like, break something. I was so mad. And I'm just like, like, oh my gosh, like, I've heard the most horrible stuff on World War II. I mean, you look up, like, Ten Boom and all this other stuff, and yeah, it's, like, really, really bad, But, like, this was, like, I don't know, stuff that involves kids just, I can't. It just angered me. And so I'm like, oh my gosh, like, I was so angry. And so I, like, prayed and I thought, gosh, like, I should not be this angry. Like, this is ridiculous. Like, this is not, I should not have this level of feeling. So a couple days went by, and I finally kind of got over that. And I don't know, it was weird. Because the ending would have made me normally bawl. But I didn't. And instead I was just, like, angry. Like, this I don't know if it's righteous anger, but I mean, I was just angry. Like, I can't even describe how angry. I was just angry. And it was weird. I've never had a movie affect me that way. And I've watched pieces of it now, like, after, and I'm okay, because I know how it ends now, and I'm kind of over the shock factor of, like, oh my god. And I'm not as angry anymore, because now I'm like, okay, it's a movie, you know, World War II happened, and, I mean, I'm not saying it's right, because it's not, but I've kind of gotten over that angry part, and just kind of dealt with it. But it was weird. I've never experienced anything like that. And I don't think it's wrong to be angry, but the level that I was at was just wrong. Like, oh my gosh. I can't describe the emotions. Like, I just wanted to break something, or, like, I don't know. Like, I wanted to, like, oh my gosh. Like, I wanted to just scream. I mean, it's weird. I've never had that kind of feeling. I've been angry, but not like that. Is weird. So anyway, I just had to say that, because I forgot when I saw it, because it just all happened, and then I forgot about it. But I just had to mention that. Like, it was very interesting, because the movie didn't affect me in the way that most movies like that would. And I thought that was odd, because normally I'd be bawling. But like I said, like, I'll bawl at really stupid stuff, and then stuff that I should cry about, I won't. Like, I can't give you a specific thing, but, like, there'll be movies, for example, like, everyone's crying, and I'm like, that's not sad at all. And then there'll be a movie that's, like, not sad at all, and I'm crying, and everyone's like, what's so sad? I mean, even, like, in Frozen, there was a couple parts where I was, like, trying to hold back tears, and most people wouldn't be like, oh, that's so sad. But, like, when they built the snowman, and I won't give anything away, but when they built the snowman, and then Elsa finds out she has this magic. She accidentally strikes her sister with this magic. And so they erase the sister's memory. So the Elsa knows she has magic, but they take the memory away from Anna, so Anna doesn't know. And so Elsa locks herself in a room, and Anna can't figure out why she isn't coming out to play. So she sings this snowman song, and she keeps knocking on the door, and she's like, do you want to build a snowman? Come play, like, we've been buddies, now we're not, and, like, we don't have to build a snowman, like, we can do something else. And she just keeps knocking, and then she gets older, and she's still knocking, and then she gets older, like, adult older, and she's still knocking, and I was, like, trying not to bawl. Like, also, the boy in the striped pajamas and Hidingplace are on board. Sweet. I was gonna ask her if that book was on Bard. Woohoo! Bard isn't working right now, though. I don't know why. Anyway, so it was. I think the end is the real chorus on Boom. Oh, right there is because they show her at the end. Anyway, that's not related to any of this. What was I talking about? Oh, Jessica. Oh, now I don't know what I was talking about. Guys, I'm sorry. I just totally lost my, like, entire train of thought. Okay, I just lost my thought completely. Oh, Frozen, okay. So sorry. So anyway, I'm, like, trying to hold back tears. Like, from the beginning when she's knocking on the door, and I'm getting so mad, and I'm like, oh, Elsa, come out of the freaking door. And I'm like, and, like, I'm going like this, and I'm like, I'm trying everything. I'm like, I am not going to cry. This is ridiculous, So, like, really stupid things that most people are like, wow, that's sad. I'm, like, bawling. And, oh, my gosh. Like, even, like, okay, and because of Winn-Dixie. I don't want to give that away either. But at the end, the dog, like, they can't find the dog. He, like, runs away or something. They can't find the dog. I'm in the movie theater, and I'm freaking bawling. And I'm like, where's the dog? And I'm just, like, bawling and bawling. And, like, oh, my gosh. And I'm like, I come out of the theater, and I'm just, like, oh, my gosh. I went in the bathroom, and I was just, like, soaking wet. Like, I was, like, freaking out. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like, because I was freaking out that they couldn't find the dog, and I was like, it's so sad. It's like the little girl's friend, and oh my gosh. So, like, really stupid things that most people would be like, wow, that's sad. Or, like, Flicka, when, what's it called? Flicka, when she runs, she gets mad at her dad because her dad won't let her keep the horse. He gives the horse away. She goes back to try to win a race to get the horse, and she gets on the horse, and she runs off. And I don't want to give the movie away, but she winds up, like, going off, and the horse they get lost or something, and she gets, like, real sick, and it's, like, raining or something. And I was, like, bawling. I mean, even the part where the dad takes the horse away from her for, like, being disobedient. Like, there's a part in the movie where he says he's going to sell the horse, and you know, because she went against his words. And I'm bawling. Like, I'm in the theater, and I'm with my friend and her mom, and I'm like, my eyes are just, I have tears in my eyes, and I'm going, God, please don't cry. Please don't cry. Like, I can't cry in front of other people, you know? Like, because to me, it's just, like, embarrassing. Like, I'm like, okay, I'm sitting with my friend and her mom. I cannot cry. I'm like, I cannot. It's like, oh my gosh. So, yeah, like, things that most people wouldn't be crying, I'm, like, freaking out. There are rare occasions when I'm crying with everybody else, but normally it's like I'll cry at stupid stuff that most people wouldn't cry. And then most people will be like bawling. Like, I remember the first time we watched, what's that movie with the dogs and the cat? Chance and Shadow and Far From Home, Far Away Home, what is that movie? I know what it is, I just off the top of my head I can't. Anyways, the cat, like, falls in the hole, and, like, the dogs are, like, trying to get the cat out, you know? And I'm, like, okay, whatever, you know? And my sister's bawling. And I'm like, that's not sad. So I'm one of those weird kind of people. But anyways, I just had to say that about the boy in the striped pajamas because I thought that was interesting. I have never had a movie affect me like that. Like, it was really weird. I never cried, which is weird because that's the kind of thing that would make me bawl. And I've never gotten angry. I mean, even in the Hidingplace, like, there were times that I cried, bawled, reading the book. Because I saw the movie after I read the book. So it was a little bit different. Because I'd already seen the movie. I'd already read the book. So the movie, like, I reacted, but not in the same type of way. And so, like, there were points where I was just angry, and I'd, like, put the book down, and I think there was one point where I, like, threw the book or something, but there were parts that I cried, and there were parts where I was just angry, but not like this. And it was just weird. I never had emotion like that. It was really weird. Anyways, now that I know what happens, I'm over the shock. I think I'm going to read the book. But I got a bunch of other books I need to finish. And I still need to buy Grace Unplugged. Because I haven't bought the book yet, and I need to read it. Because I want to see how it compares to the movie. I don't read a lot, but if there's a book I really want to read, then I'll read it. But I need to finish Chords of Strength by David Archuleta. And I need to charge my tape player. But I need to read Chords of Strength or finish it. Because I'm surprised they haven't sent me an overdue notice yet. But I know it's coming real soon. And I'm going to be in trouble. So I need to finish that because it's actually not mine. And it wasn't something I downloaded. It was a book that I borrowed. And it's on a cartridge. So it has to go back to these people. Anyways. I'm going to go before I lose my train of thought again. Because Jessica's got me thinking about 50 zillion things. Which is fine. But yeah. I'm like totally losing it. Anyways. But anyways, I don't know about the Boy in the Striped Pajamas book. I'm going to read it, so I'll let you guys know what I think It'd be a little bit, probably, because I got some other stuff to read. I've got so much movies to watch. It's ridiculous. Anyway, hopefully it's a short book and I can just breeze through it. Anyways, so I will let you guys know about that. If you haven't seen the movie, it's definitely something worth watching, but prepare yourself. I mean, not able to tell you really what happens, but just prepare yourself for emotion. Because it's definitely emotional. But I mean, I think the movie was well done, and I think it helps people to understand World War II a little bit more, because I even in school, like, we'd learn about the Holocaust, and every year I'd learn more and more, and every year I got older, and I understood it more, and I understood it more each year, and every year I'd get, like, angrier, and because I'd understand a little bit more, and, like, little bit more things would come out, and I remember in, like, 7th or 8th grade when we learned, like, the Jews had to wear the stars, and then, the people that were handicapped had bands, like, wrist, some kind of bands, like yellow bands or something that they had to signify that they were handicapped, and they had to take them off. And so people didn't know if they were handicapped, and so that's how some of them got killed. And I remember, like, in 7th grade, I was so mad. I'm like, oh my gosh, because I'm blind, and so I'm just like, I was freaking out. And so, I don't know, it was definitely interesting as I got older, like, learning more bits and pieces, but, yeah, the boy in the striped pajamas is definitely, very emotional, very emotional. Kind of want to watch the movie again, though, just so I can hear all the dialogue, because it's really hard. This is going to sound geek, but it's really hard for me, even if people are narrating the movie, it's really hard for me to watch movies with other people unless everyone in the room says nothing the whole time, because I need to hear all the dialogue. And I don't mind watching movies with other people, but I like to go back and watch them by myself when I'm able to. But yeah, so anyways, that's basically all that I have to say. I did mention Hidingplace. Yes, Corey Ten Boom is amazing. You should check that out if you haven't read it. I didn't find out about Corey Ten Boom until I was at Grace, when I was 19. I was in an English class, and the teacher we were doing some kind of something with sentences, and she used the sentence, "Where are your Jews?" and mentioned Corey Ten Boom, and I was like, who? And my friend was like, you've never heard of Corey Ten Boom? And I'm like, no, who's that? And so, she told me, and I found the Hidingplace, in Braille, actually, because I was getting Braille books at the time, and I read the whole book in Braille. It was like, I don't know how many volumes, like 3, I want to say 3 or 4, and I remember clearly, I will never forget reading that book, because it was like right around Christmas time. And I remember right around Christmas time. And I remember reading the book during that time. And I remember specific pieces of the book. I remember when Casper Ten Boom, when Corey was told what happened to Casper. And I was just, like, bawling. I remember different scenes. Like, there was a bunch of amazing quotes, and at the time I was like, gosh, I should write that down, but then I never did, so it'd be fun to go back and read just so I could write down my favorite quotes, because some of them I was just like, whoa, and they passed by so fast, I'm like, wait. So, but I remember, like, specific scenes, and I don't remember exactly what I read on Christmas Eve of that year, but I remember bawling. I was up at night, reading at night, instead of going to bed. And I was up for like hours, and I remember bawling in my room, or my parents' room, or wherever I was, because I was at my parents' house, I think. And I remember bawling. And the next day, I remember that's all I could think about, because I think I finished the book that night. The next day, that's all I could think about. And I remember getting a Super Chick CD, karaoke Superstars. And I'd gotten a CD player, and I remember we had to go somewhere, and some Christmas exchange, and I remember taking my Super Chick's CD with my CD player and listening to Super Chick like all day, and just thinking about Corey Ten Boom. Like, I could not get any. I just finished the book, and I couldn't get any of it out of my head, and I had so many emotions, and all I thought about for weeks. Like, I couldn't get it out of my head. It's like all I thought about for weeks and weeks and weeks. And then a little bit later, I did some internet research, and I found out they had a movie, and I told my parents, and we checked it out we rented it, actually, I think at, like, Blockbuster or something. And it was VHS, and I remember renting it. I think they have a DVD now. Be nice to have for my collection, but, I was just watching it because it was on TBN. But I will never, ever, ever forget reading that book. I had so many emotions, and I just thought, I want more stories like that. I mean, I don't want people to go through what Corey went through, but their faith is so inspiring, and I think we can learn a lot from people. And I have a bad feeling that things are coming that we aren't prepared for. I didn't know why, and I'm not, like, freaking out or anything. I'm not one of those nut people that are like, it's coming, you know. But I think the end is coming, and I think there's stuff coming to America that we're not used to that, I don't know, I just have this feeling that America is in such a blessed state, which isn't a bad thing, but it can only last for so long, and we're not, like, invincible. And I think a lot of Christians in other countries suffer way more than we do, and I have a feeling that eventually our time is coming. Not that I want it to come, because I don't. I like the land of the free. And it's funny, because the first time somebody told me this was a teacher at Grace. And he said, eventually, Christian persecution's coming to America. And I laughed, and I'm like, you are losing it. Like, America is not like that, you know, we're America. But I'm starting to think that could happen. I'm not saying it will, but I think it could. And so, I don't know. I just think that, anything can happen, and I think the world's getting more and more, like, unsafe, and I just think that, eventually, you know, America, we're going to have our problems. We're a very blessed nation, but, I mean, I just don't think that we're, like, above everybody else in, as far as, like, stuff like that, and so, I think that there's stuff coming that we need to pay attention, because I think the end is coming. We need to pay attention to the news, not like my dad, like 24/7 news, but I think we need to know what's going on. Pay attention to, like, prophecy, the good prophecy people that know their stuff, and just, you know, just pay attention to what's going on, and starting to think more and more that I need to know the Bible more, because I think whenever the Antichrist comes, I think he is going to twist things so smoothly that it'll be like one word taken out or one word put in that if you don't know the Bible, you won't notice. I mean, I don't think it's going to be something drastic where he's like, I am your God. And you're like, wait a minute, this isn't Jesus. You know, I think it's going to be something little like, I don't even know. Kind of like they do in the Left Behind thing where they kind of twist it and he says, like, we are gods. I don't necessarily think it's going to be that in your face, but I think it's going to be real smooth, like, you know, like, I think he'll say, like, our Father in heaven, hallowed be my name, or something, and you won't, people will be like, oh, you know, and they won't see the whole, like, wait a minute, he's saying, like, my name, you know, be praised, or whatever. And it's going to be something so smooth like that where they change the die to my, and then you're like, zip, and it goes right by. I think it's going to be, I don't have a better example than that, I wish I did. But I think it's going to be stuff that simple where it sounds so biblical that people are going to think he's quoting the Bible if they don't know it well enough. And I could be completely wrong, and I could be a nutcase right now. But that's what I think, because I was telling my mom that tonight, like, that's what I think. I think that is what's going to happen where, you know, like, it's just going to be this subtle little twist, and people are going to fall for it because they won't know the difference. So I'm starting to think maybe I need to know Scripture better than I do. Anyways, this video is long enough, and now I have to upload it on the web. Darn it. Anyways, but I just wanted to say that about the boy in the striped pajamas, because it's weird. I've never had a movie affect me like that, but I do want to read the book. It'll be a little while, though, because I have some other stuff to read. And, so yeah. But, anyways. And Frozen comes out next week. For whoever hasn't seen it, you need to go see it. I mean, go buy it, go see it, go rent it, whatever. And it's supposed to have DVS, which my life has made, because I'm super happy about that. And my friend just told me that you can get Taylor by Taylor half price on Amazon. Don't know about that, but that is radically amazing. I'm kind of excited about that. And I don't want to work tomorrow, but I have to, so I need to go to bed soon. It's like after 2 in the morning. But I'm wide awake and I want to listen to music, which is dork, but I do. That's all I do. And that's why I never have time to watch my stacks of movies over here. And I never have time to read books. And yet I want to join a movie club and buy more movies. I'm not stupid. Yeah. Anyways, so everyone have a good night. And I will talk to you later. And yeah, check out, yeah. I want to read some other books by Ten Boom too, actually. I don't know. Can't think. I haven't found any that are accessible, but my friend Jonathan said he read another one of her books and it was pretty good. And I know she wrote quite a few other books after Hidingplace, and they'd be really interesting to read. I love her quotes; they're so inspiring, and I just love thinking about. Like, I see her quotes and I'm just like speechless, because they really make you think. And yeah. Anyways, so I was basically just going to talk about the boy in the striped pajamas, and now I talked about all kinds of everything. But yeah. Anyways, I'm not trying to freak anybody out, and I'm not like starting this whole like, oh my gosh, it's all coming, like something bad's gonna happen, but I really think that America is, I mean, I don't want to downgrade us, because I believe in America, but I just think that, like, our time is coming, I guess. I mean, it's like Nebraska, you can only win for so long, and then it's someone else's turn. And I don't know, I just kind of feel like that, I guess. And it might not even be bad, like, over in, like, Iran and Korea, stuff like that. It could just be, like, Christians are bullied or whatever. It might not be that kind of persecution. I'm not saying, like, we're going to start getting martyred and stuff. I'm just saying that I think in America, like, stuff is coming that we don't normally have to deal with like other countries do. I don't know what that might be, but I just have a feeling that could be where we're headed. But anyways, yeah. I will talk to you everybody later. I love these bottles of, I don't know if you can see this, but I love these bottles of Sunny Delight. They are like squeeze bottles, and they have a little top cap, and you just flip it open and you drink. They only have them in orange, which kind of bites. Really bites, actually, because I want them in strawberry orange, but that's okay. They're like $1 more than the little bottles that are like half the size, but I like them because they're actually a good size. And sometimes I'll wind up drinking 2 bottles anyway, and so now I only have to drink 1, because it's about the size of 2 bottles, and I like having the squeezy. I feel kind of bad that I'm wasting bottles, but other than that, and I don't know why I do, but other than that, I like these a lot, and I think I'm going to keep buying them, because I think Sunny D is good for me to drink. Definitely when I'm sick, but even when I'm not, I think it's good to have not just soda. Yeah. Anyways, I'm gonna go. This video's gonna take freaking ever to upload, and I gotta go to bed. So I'm getting my room all moistified so I can go sleep and hopefully breathe really good. My breathing's actually gotten a lot better, but it's just still not all the way there. But yeah, anyways, and I love Olive Garden. It was so good. Even like having it for dinner was like amazing. So good. Yeah. Anyways, have a good night. God bless. And keep the faith, and have an awesome Monday. And I will talk to everybody later. If you haven't signed the petition for Saeed, nothing else has changed since they moved him to the political part. Sign it. aclj.org. Or call 877-989-2255. I know I haven't been on here talking about Saeed very much, but I've had a lot going on. Ouch. And not much else has happened. So, that's why I haven't been talking about Saeed. I have not forgotten. I am not dormant. I have been sharing stuff on Facebook and Twitter a little bit. But yeah, definitely keep up the Saeed petition. And talk to you guys later. God bless.
Quick nav on. Stop recording button. Recording. Quick nav off. Stop recording button.